Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another GTA Online Casino DLC video. My name is SaintsFan, and today this is going to be a part 2 video to the how to gamble in banned countries video I put up last week. Sorry this is taking so long, but I wanted to make sure it worked, and I was having some issues with some of my equipment, but I'm almost positive I have figured out the way to get it working. Now, as you'll come to find out here in a minute, you are going to be required to use a Windows 10 machine, whether it's a laptop or a PC. That's the tutorial I'm going to be showing in this video. Although if you are on Mac, then I will try and find a link to put into the description. More on that in a minute. This, though, is for you guys on Xbox One and PS4. If you're on PC, then I will leave a link to the video I did last week, a couple days ago. It shows how to get started and how to get it done on PC. And I will also leave a link to that video for you guys on console if you haven't watched it, because I go into detail on what the VPN sort of does and which VPNs to use. So definitely go check that out before watching this video. Now, what I'm going to show you guys actually before we get into the tutorial is basically me locking myself out of the casino. So with one of the VPNs that I told you guys about, I actually decided I want to see what actually happens when you get locked out, when you're not able to gamble, if you're in one of those illegal or banned countries. And turns out the VPN that I chose, I could actually connect to Israel, which is one of those countries where it is banned in. So I was just testing it. I connected to that through the VPN, and then I loaded up GTA Online. And this is actually what you see when you're in game. So you can go into the casino, but when you go to the Lucky Wheel or any of the casino slots or casino gambling games, it says this feature is not available for you. And then if you even go to the casino chip dealer, like the cashier, and buy chips, it will tell you, at least it did for me, that, sorry, this does not work. It actually gave me an alert. It says your account does not have permission. So that is what it looks like if you're in one of the banned countries. And that's why a lot of people are looking for ways to gamble, because like that's the entirety of the DLC and they can't even do it. So I just thought that was really interesting to share with you guys that it actually works the opposite way. I, living in the US, could actually disable everything by connecting to one of those countries. Now, how to actually fix the issue of not being able to gamble in those illegal countries. I'll answer some questions that I got on the last video at the end of this video, but the way it's going to work, I am going to show you guys with the Proto VPN, which is one of the free VPNs that I put in the description. First off, this free trial, that's I think just for the premium version. So like once this runs out, you'll still get access to the free version. But obviously the first thing you're going to do is load this program up. Don't connect to anything just yet. Just make sure you probably get somewhere like you can connect. Like United States is probably just the best place to connect to, even if you're from like across the world, just because you may lag, whatever, but at least you'll be able to gamble, because like I know for a fact the US will allow you to do everything. Before you hit connect though, this is where the Windows 10 computer comes into play. Now, there is a way I believe to do this on the Mac, but it's a little bit more complicated. I will try and find a link to like a tutorial or something and put it in the description. Or maybe if I find the link to the instructions, I'll just put that in the description if you are on a Mac. But I don't know. I think a lot of people probably have a Windows 10 machine, whether it is a computer or a laptop. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do to even know if it's capable on your machine, you're going to want to hit the little start button down here. And then just type in CMD. That's going to open up the command prompt. And just to be sure, right click on it and hit run as administrator. That will open up the command prompt. And what you're going to want to type in is that. I will leave this wording or these words in the description so you can just copy them and paste them like I just did. But once you put that in, just hit enter. And what we're actually looking for, I know this may be a little confusing, you know, a little crazy for some people, but we're looking for this hosted network supported. If this says no, well, unfortunately, you cannot do what I'm going to show you guys until you buy like a wireless Wi-Fi adapter. I think you can find them on Amazon. They're USB little sticks. They don't cost a whole bunch. But if it says no, that's what you're going to need. If not, if it says yes, you're good to go. Mine obviously says yes, so I'm good to go. So you can close this out. The next thing we're going to do is come down here to the settings button. I believe if it's not there for you, you can just type in the start menu settings and you will get the settings app. And then we're going to go to network and internet. In the network and internet tab, we're going to go down here to mobile hotspot. And then we are going to turn it on. You may, if it's not set up, you may, let me just turn it off real quick. You may have to choose from a drop-down menu, like where you get your internet from. This is what I called my Ethernet cable. So this is how I get my internet to my PC. And then this edit button, this is where you can actually change the name of the network and the password. I just, for simplicity's sake, made it VPN and then the password 1234567 You can change it to whatever you want. But go ahead and turn it on after that's sorted. And then you may also want to turn power saving off because it did sort of turn off every now and then if nothing was connected. But before we do anything, now you can see something already connected. That's because I already hooked up my PS4, but I will show you guys how to do that. We're going to scroll down here to change network or change adapter options. Now, I have a bunch more options than probably you are going to see. You are probably going to see your Ethernet if you use that, and then your Wi-Fi if you use that. And then you probably will also see, where is it? The Proto VPN. I have a couple other VPNs just for testing purposes, so that's why you see some other stuff. This local area connection. Now, yours may not be 13, but it's going to say local area connection something. This is the Wi-Fi hotspot we just made. I don't know why it says that, but that's just what it is. Now, what you're going to want to do to get this to work properly, you find the one that says Proto VPN, you right-click on it, go down to properties, then you go to the sharing tab, then you allow other network users to connect through this computer's internet connection. Now this, it's given me a little thing here because I have done this for something else. You probably won't get this. If not, just hit OK, it's fine. And then in this little drop down menu, we're going to choose the local area connection 13. And then or whatever the local area connection thing is for you. And then we're going to hit OK. Once you have done that, then we are going to connect to wherever the VPN is. And this works the same for pretty much any other VPN. You just find your VPN in that list. But we're going to connect to the Texas one, I guess. And now we are connected. And you can see my IP has changed. And it does say we are connected to Texas. Now, just to make sure, you will see now in this network connections tab, which again, to get to it, you just click this change adapter settings thing. But now it does say shared. And then what we're going to do is hop over onto the PS4. Once we're on the PS4, we're going to go into the settings tab. Then we're going to go obviously into the network settings tab. We're going to choose set up internet connection. Obviously use Wi-Fi, hit easy. Wait for all the Wi-Fi networks to load up. And in this list, you should see the thing you just made. It says VPN. You're just going to click on that, wait for it to load its thing. You may have to put the password in, but this is basically it. Once you get connected, you're good to go. Now, you do see it gives me some issues here. Initially, it says like the Wi-Fi signal is too weak. And this is where I think the free VPN and the Wi-Fi adapter comes into play. The free VPN, it sometimes doesn't have the strongest signal. It sometimes doesn't have the strongest download speeds and upload speeds comparatively to like a paid for VPN. So you may run into some issues with that, but I just tried it a couple more times and you can see I eventually got in and I could run a test and everything was working good. This also could be an issue with the Wi-Fi adapter. I actually have no idea where my Wi-Fi adapter came from. I think it came from my PC when I built it like 4 years ago. So I'm sure maybe if you got a better Wi-Fi adapter, again, you could probably find those on Amazon or something, it will be a lot easier to connect. And also you do want to make sure wherever your computer is, you're doing this, you got to make sure your PS4 is relatively close by. If it isn't, then you're going to have issues just because you know, the signal is not going to reach and it may be too weak to actually connect. But we eventually get it. We get like a decent download speed. We get 7 down and then 2 up. It's not the greatest, not the worst. It will allow you to gamble though. That's really all you need to know. Now, the way you can actually tell if this is working is by going to your PC or looking back at your PC. In the mobile hotspot tab, you'll see it'll say like devices connected, and you should see one that says, it might say unknown because mine here says unknown, and it'll have the other information. I also connected my phone, which is the Galaxy S10, and if you are curious, you can connect your phone as well to the same hotspot, and then go to Google and type in IP location finder or something along those lines. First off, you should actually probably type in my IP in Google, get that, and then go to the IP location finder to see where it says, and it should put you wherever you put your VPN at. So again, mine is going to say Texas. Now, I will just say that because I do live in the US, I really can't confirm if this works or not. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video, I think I probably found the way to do it. All indications lead me to believe this will work because in theory, if my IP is in a different place, then the PS4 and GTA should recognize my IP is in a different place and it should allow me to gamble. But again, I can't actually like test that. So I am hoping that this does just work for everyone. But to answer some of the questions I got in the last video, one of the biggest ones was, you know, will I get banned? And, you know, will Rockstar figure out about this? I say no, and I still say no. And if you don't maybe trust me, you can trust Fun MW2 perhaps. He's one of the, you know, the biggest leakers in the GTA community. And he kind of just reiterated what I stated in the last video. Basically, while it might technically be possible for Rockstar to figure out if you're using a VPN, it's most probably not going to be worth their time. Like, Rockstar have done all they needed to do to be perfectly legal in all this. It's not their fault if someone goes around the laws basically by doing or using a VPN. But the one specific thing that he mentions in this video or in this little text here that I just want to reiterate, whatever you do, don't disconnect from the VPN while you're on the game. Like, make sure you get off the game before you connect and disconnect, because that's the one easy way that Rockstar could figure out if you're using a VPN, if you're playing, if you're gambling and then all of a sudden you disconnect and then it's, oh, okay, well, they're actually not in Texas or they're not in the US. Oh, that's interesting. Just make sure you don't do that and you should be fine. At worst, because I've seen other websites do this, like Netflix, for instance, they can detect if you're using certain popular VPNs and they'll just not allow you access to their website. Rockstar potentially could detect that you're on a VPN and they just not allow you to do the stuff that you've been doing, which is basically how it would be if you weren't using VPN in the first place. I mean, I've been using a VPN for years now, haven't had any issues with any person or any company. I know tons of people have been using VPNs to game on. As long as you're using it in a safe way, then you should be fine. Like, the one thing I will also say, don't try and use a VPN to buy something off of like the PS4 store or the Xbox store. That's another issue that I've seen people, they get their accounts in trouble, not with like Rockstar, but with actual Sony and Microsoft. Just use it for gambling and you'll be fine. But anyway, that is it with this video. Hopefully this cleared up the confusion with VPNs. Hopefully this works for you guys on Xbox One and PS4. If you did enjoy the video and found it helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could drop it a like. Also, if you're new around here, definitely subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell button so you don't miss any of my other GTA Online videos. Thank you all for watching. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.